I know. You're usually used to downloading What's Sizzling and hearing that beautiful intro created by John Roy, but not this week. No. This week, we got sponsors, baby. And we got a lot of them. First person to ever become a sponsor of What's Sizzling is Battle Wounds Apparel. Because everyone has a fight they go through, whether it's inside or outside of the ring. Take the fight to them with Battle Wounds Apparel. Everyone has a fight. What's yours? And make sure you use a promo code of BACON to get 20% off your order. That's the promo code of BACON for 20% off your order. We also have JM Lead Better Landscaping. Leaves will be falling soon. Now's the time to book that yard cleanup. Complete leaf and fall debris property cleanup. And they also do a lot of phases of yard maintenance. Please call JM Lead Better Landscaping at 617-827-2826. That's 617-827-2826. They've been serving the South Shore of Massachusetts for a long time now. Please hit up JM Lead Better Landscaping. And our final sponsor is Way Back Burger. Make sure you go down to Bristol's Way Back Burgers, and every Tuesday they got the Way Back Classic. Trust me, I'm a burger connoisseur myself. I've been down there. I be loving what they're cooking up. I know a lot of Northeast wrestling fans listen to the podcast, so it's a short little drive right over there for you. So that's Bristol's Way Back Burgers. But today is the last time, or the last day that you can vote for Lanita Thomas. That's right, vote for Lanita Thomas for the Kiss of Pig contest. Yeah, that's right. You know me, Big Bacon, all about kissing them pigs. But I'll share the ballot on all my social medias. You'll be able to see it, fill it out. But if you fill it out, every dollar donated equals one vote to support early childhood education initiatives. As someone who worked with children developing, I think this is a very, very good cause, and I wouldn't be plugging on my podcast if I didn't think it was a good cause. So please find that on my social media pages, go give a vote, and let's make her kiss that pig, baby.
Love the mouth-watering taste of delicious, perfectly cooked bacon?
Bacon! Bacon! Where's the bacon? I smell bacon! 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 Gotta be bacon! Only one thing smells like bacon! That's bacon! 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 There!
Welcome to the What's Sizzling podcast with Big Bacon.
Hey, look at all that meat.
And now your host, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister.
It's bacon!
Here we are. It's official. What's Sizzling? This is episode 11, 12, 13. Oh, it fucking feels like 1,000, but here we are. God damn, I'm excited to be here. So, this weekend, I had a shitty football weekend. I know. You guys like hearing about my football weekends. This one, not so fucking sweet. But the good thing about this one was I was so busy at Western Mass Wrestling this weekend that I did not get a chance to watch any football. Maine State Posse came here to record the interview that you guys are going to be hearing today, and they came here around like 1:30, so that first half an hour was pretty much all I watched from football all weekend, to the point where my fantasy football team, I didn't even know Sammy Watkins, like, did he not play? I still don't know what the hell happened to him. He had 0 points, so I guess Sammy Watkins just disappeared sometime during the day, because down at Western Mass I was having a little drinky drink and watching some good wrestling and having a good time. DL Hurst, Scotty Wild tore it up exactly how I thought they would, so I was very, very happy for those two guys. But yeah, so I didn't get to see as much football as I would like to, but next week, it's a whole new week for my team. You know, I was going against the one undefeated guy in the league. I really wanted to take him down. If you guys don't know, that person I'm talking about is Brian Fury. I was coming for that neck. And my team, we looked good throughout the day. We really did. We looked nice and tough, and then we fell off a fucking cliff. I don't know. It was miserable. But here we are. We're doing another edition of What's Sizzling, and our guest this week is Maine State Posse, the first in-studio guest. Yes, I've had in-studio for some flipping bacon. I've had in-studio for some of my opens. This is the first time for a long time we sit down and are able to have a guest in the studio. So I want you guys to give that a listen. Maine State Posse, fucking 2 awesome guys. 3 awesome guys, but I only had 2 here. So the 2 awesome guys were here. We had a nice little chat. We talked about their beginnings, because that's one thing too. Like, every time I listen to wrestling podcasts, they always ask people about their start in wrestling, and I'm like, I want to avoid that question. But with these two guys, I really did not know their start. I had no idea of how they got into wrestling, so it was very cool for me to be able to sit them down and ask them that. I think you even hear it in this interview. I say, like, there's been times I want to ask questions to people, but you don't want to just corner someone in a locker room and be like, hey, where'd you get your start in the business, kid? So being able to have them come here and actually be able to ask them and see where they got their start and where they came from. Really, really cool. And I learned a lot. So hopefully you guys learned a lot about Maine State Posse too. So I'm going to throw it to Past Bacon and Past MSP, and we're going to take this podcast hard, baby.
The bacon, the bacon, the bacon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, another edition of What's Sizzling, and we have an in-studio guest. I think it's the first time this has happened. My guest today, he's more psycho than Sid. You know I'm talking about the Danger Kid and his one and only tag bro. He is Aggro. We getting flossy with the Maine State Posse MSP. What's Sizzling, baby?
Yeah,
I'm
baby.
fucking jazzed up after that,
I
baby.
am jacked up, brother. Let's
do
go.
this.
Well, dude, it took me fucking 2 tries because I just realized we weren't recording on the first one, and this was probably the first rhyme I didn't write down. This one I just fucking came up the top of my head and I fucked it up by not recording.
Yeah, but I mean,
Dude, it was good the first time, but I think it was great the second time because now actually everybody heard it.
That's true.
Like,
that helps.
So we know that that's the best one.
Yep. That's
So,
what counts, baby.
Yeah, you guys in studio today. You guys down in the area for Western Mass. And like I said, I haven't had an in-studio guest. We had Flip here for the Flip and Bacon segments. But when it comes down to the whole What's Sizzling episode, you guys are the first ones to come. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us, buddy. It's great to be here, and glad to be the first in-studio guest. Let's do this right.
We're doing it the right way. And you guys been traveling like fucking madmen all weekend. Where were you guys at earlier this week? Weekend.
Just last night, we were in Newport, Vermont for ETWA. We wrestled the Gymnasty Boys and
Chance Riser,
and it was a dope little match. It was a really good turnout. They said it was like pretty much the most people they've ever had in that building. So really good night for the company. It was our first time there ourselves.
Well, that's why they had the most people.
Yeah,
Fucking,
I mean,
no
obviously.
shit.
They made the right call bringing in the Posse and the Gymnasty Boys. So, other people should do that.
Letting us throw down.
Just throwing that out there.
No, and that's the thing. Like we were talking a little bit earlier, where I was saying like being in a tag team, and there not being so many prominent tag teams on the independent circuit. Like of other good tag teams, and they're one of the teams I've heard of. So when I seen on Twitter like you guys each giving each other props, I was like, let's fucking go. MSP making moves. So, and you guys said that wasn't the first time you guys been in the ring with them, right?
Yep, no, we wrestled them in New Jersey for the Wrestlers Laboratory. That was also a 6-man tag with Effie and Alexander Lee on our half.
Yeah, and you guys have been having a little beef ski with Alexander Lee down at MSP. I mean, excuse down at MSP and down at Limitless.
Yeah.
It's been going down in MSP, down at Limitless.
There we go. Good save.
If y'all get a chance, check out the Limitless Wrestling 4-year anniversary show that happened at the Portland Expo. We had a Maine State street fight. It got pretty wild and crazy. You might have seen a picture,
that
a
was
video,
fucking gross.
maybe of my ear with some shit going on. Bacon, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
So I'll explain to everyone listening. Please go out of your way to find this picture because that shit was disgusting. My man Danger Kid got some gauged ears. And, like, I remember seeing the Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy thing, and I thought that was, like, the grossest thing I've ever seen, where he put the screwdriver in it and twisted it around. And then I seen a handcuff from your gauged ear to the bottom rope, and I was like, oh, no, that's the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Yep, that is something that definitely happens. And I put up a picture of that, and I ruined a lot of people's nights. So I guess sorry.
Yeah, what motivated you to be like, you know what? You know what would be a good idea for this one? Just fucking handcuff my ear.
I mean, you ever see that shit done anywhere else?
Yeah, nobody can steal my shit now.
No.
I don't
think anyone wants to.
Shit.
Somebody probably could. Stretch lobes, Alley Cat could do that. She's got lobes bigger than mine, but.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
I
and
don't
it's
know,
one of
she's
those things
volunteering
like
to do that. So.
I don't think anyone signed up for that.
See, it's a matter of you gotta have stretched ears and you gotta be fucking stupid, and I'm both those things.
You got both going on for you.
Not a lot of people got both those going on,
dude. So it's one of those things. I think when you're not when you don't know about something, it becomes scarier, right? So I think I had my ear pierced once for like 2 days in high school.
Yeah, and that shit's small.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
nothing.
when I see that picture, I was just like, oh, what a sick fuck.
Yeah. But like, dude, it's just like, it's cartilage, man. It's just like, there's no feeling. Like, I can pull on it all damn day.
Yeah.
Like, if it tugs like a little bit, like in that spot, like, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks a little bit, but like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
not
what I
like
mean?
the stretching process is like a cakewalk either. Like, I used to have stretch lobes a long time ago, like in 2012. I was coming up on an inch,
Yeah.
but I actually have really thick lobes too. So after I took them out in like 2013, and like you can barely tell now, but like I still got some holes there.
You got a weird.
They
shit.
exist, yeah, but like you barely ever fucking know unless
no,
you're
I wouldn't
looking
unless
for
you
it.
unless you stretched it out right
Nah,
there. I
but
wouldn't
like,
know.
do you fucking just like, you can tug on these fucking things all I wish everybody listening could see.
Yeah, I
that.
wish this was a fucking video podcast
up
and
a
you guys
GIF
could
or
see
something.
this fucking. Oh my god, dude! And like I said, I could just never imagine that shit because in amateur wrestling, I avoided cauliflower ear my entire life, right?
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
like I had a little bit once, but I got it drained right away. So it's another thing that you can't tell unless I pointed it out.
Right on.
But like I feel like I protected my ears for this long, so like that's why when I pierced it for a little bit, I was like, nah, you ears been through enough, and you guys survived. So.
Yeah.
But you guys, I remember when I first heard of you guys, it wasn't even a knock. It was more of a thing like no one knew where you guys came from. Like no one knew where you guys trained or anything. Like, so where did you guys get your start?
IWE up in Brewer, Maine.
Now, were you guys trained first?
So
Yes.
we
Okay.
we
Yeah.
trained.
See, I honestly didn't know.
They're like,
Dude, that's why I love having the show, because like there's a bunch of questions I want to ask people, but I don't want to just go up to
No,
someone in the locker room and be
absolutely.
like, hey, what did you do to get
Give me
here?
your
You know
whole
what I mean?
story.
Give me your
No,
story,
like-
kid.
We're happy to talk about
Yeah,
it.
definitely, man. We actually trained with a guy named Eric Johnson.
Okay.
He went by Jiving Jimmy Capone for the
And
greater part of
Eric
the last
Atlas
decade.
and-
Eric Atlas.
Yeah. Just he was running IWE up there, and I got back into wrestling after I like kind of taking a wrestling sabbatical. You know, everybody kind of like I hit high
We all
school.
have
Once
one.
you get through
Yeah,
high
of
school,
course.
Yep.
High school, people make fun of you, like me, like that happened.
talking
that
to girls,
sucks.
you get distracted.
Yep, you know what I mean. It's like people make fun of you, then like girls come along, and like then you kind of like fall out of it a little bit, like I did, and then like I hit was like.
So when'd you start?
21. Yeah, I think I was like 21 when I started
Okay,
training.
yeah.
I was 25.
So like I started like watching again, and like I found like a local company which was IWE. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go to a show.
Yeah.
I went to a show, waiting in line to get in the door, and fucking this guy walks out through like the door to get into the show, and like walks by me. He's like going to have a cigarette. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? We used to fucking
What are you doing here?
we
I'm
both-
coming to the show. What are
Yeah.
you
Oh, so you
doing
guys
here?
were boys before wrestling?
kind
Like
of.
we knew
That's
each
cool.
other through music.
Oh, fuck
because
yeah.
we played in bands before.
We played
got
with a
into
lot of the
wrestling.
same people.
Oh, what's your instruments?
I played bass.
Slap with the bass, man.
Yeah,
How much do you hear that every time?
So much.
And dude, that movie's not even like a super famous movie, but everyone knows that part of that movie. Slap with the. What about you?
I did vocals, and
Let's
I
fucking
I
go.
never played drums in a band, but I played drums too.
Okay. See, that's why I'm
like
lucky
jamming.
that Dakota knows how to play drums, because when I like start up Rock Band, that's the only instrument you have to actually know how to play
Yeah,
the instrument.
totally, yeah, you
So
gotta
I'm
have
like,
some, like,
Dakota,
rhythm
you're
to
on
it.
drums because she
Yeah,
knows
I
how to
can't.
do
I'm
that
tapping out
shit.
right now.
Yeah, I'm not on
Can't even
drums.
do it on easy. Like,
Oh
fuck.
yeah, dude, I'll get the mic and I'll just match the pitch up. Oh, dude, she hates it, but she's back there killing it.
I'm stoked you guys play that. That's so
Oh,
cool.
dude, fucking, we should hook up Rock Band. We got it in
Oh my God, yeah.
the living room.
I'll
We'll
fucking-
hook it up.
I haven't played this shit in
Fucking
years,
play
but I'm
some rock
down.
We're gonna be a little late today to Western Mass Wrestling.
Sorry, Hammer.
So,
Okay, so
yeah, you guys were
alright,
talking
so
about a start.
I was like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Well, right now I'm gonna have a cigarette, but I'm training right now."
It's my first day, and it was awesome.
The training, like, they didn't have a facility, so training went on before, like, 3 hours.
Before
A
the-
3
before
hour
the actual
chunk
show.
before the
Oh.
show. Yeah. So like you get there at like noon, you set up, you can get set up around 2 to 5's like training.
Yeah.
Go get a bite to eat, work the show. You know what I mean? Like, do
Were they doing
security.
that when Limitless was still where Let's Wrestle is now?
This is way before
This
Limitless.
was
No, I know it's way
Oh, no,
before
no, no.
Limitless, but were they doing something? Because I remember one time I
The-
showed up early to a show, and there was a kid from a school, and me and Danny Miles was like working, and like I didn't know what I was like doing, but me and Danny Miles were working with this kid forever, and they were like saying he was training, and this is one of the few times he could train.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Limitless, the very first Limitless show, there was an
Was-
issue with the original venue. Like, they double booked, and because Limitless was brand new, they were like, kick rocks, basically.
Yeah.
We're going to take
We
this other
gotta
event.
get this event.
So this is like 15 days out. Or I think the venue was like, we're going to change the date. And he's like, I can't. I have all this talent booked from all over New England. I can't.
Yeah.
So, like, he had to scramble last
Yeah,
minute.
it's not a birthday party.
Eric Johnson, our trainer, IWE owner, he was nice enough to let him use the regular venue. So only that one Limitless show, the very first one. But the Moreno shows, IWE was never there. That's just been a Limitless building the whole time.
So
Now
you were saying how you guys were able to, right before the show, start training.
Yes, yeah. So, train for, 3, maybe 4 hours. Do all that stuff. We did that for like 8 months. I think.
8 months. Like there were like four
shows
a month.
So, once a week.
2 days. Like they ran the whole weekend. They would run somewhere Friday.
Actually, 4 shows a month.
And then
That's
they would
fucking...
run somewhere on Saturday.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Occasionally only like 3, but yeah.
Which is great, because I say that all the time, like, experience is experience, period. Like, being in front of a crowd, and I say it all the time, like, to this day, if I know I'm on an event with, like, a couple thousand people there, not nervous at all. Because I always feel like there's going to be noise. Like, there's going to be a reaction at least, like, from a couple hundred people, which is only 10% of the crowd, but it's still going to be loud.
Yep. Yeah.
But when you're there in front of, like, 20 people or a baker's dozen, I get so much more nervous for events like that, because I'm like, it's going to be quiet, it's going to be awkward, I'm not going to like...
Yeah.
So I say it all the time when people are starting out, it's so much better to have those experiences, because if you get through a match like that, like, you're going to be able to get through fucking a lot in wrestling, you know what I mean? So when you guys were starting out doing 4 shows, 3 shows a month, like, that's fucking valuable stuff that you guys were getting right off the bat.
And like I said, that's like 8 months of that, of, not wrestling, just training and, helping out, like, literally 12,
running gear,
13-hour days.
Yeah.
And then, then we got our first match. That all continued, but now we're also wrestling on the shows. And so that went on for however, another year. And then we started branching out into New England with Alexander Lee. And it just kind of, like, happened from there.
Snowball.
Here we are.
No, and when I had JT on earlier, I was telling him how, like, I feel chaotic is a very tough place to get into if you're not from that school. Like, I just
100%.
that's me on the outside. Like, I don't know. I've done a couple shows for them, but
We were fully convinced that we were just never gonna get there.
yeah. So when I
a lot
seen
of
you
people
guys
say that.
there, like, and like really being pushed as a big deal, I remember. Shit. It was when you guys. It was like that video package to your entrance song. I seen that online on Facebook.
Was that when we came back? The Woods one? Was it in the woods or something like that?
No, it was literally, it was like a highlight video, but it was to your guys' entrance song. Anyways, I seen that and I was like, yo, they're like the fucking top team at Chaotic.
Oh.
Like, just the way it was presented, I'm like, they're the fucking top team over there at Chaotic. And I'm like, that's a hard thing to do, especially not being from there. So, like, how did that relationship start? Because, again, that's a big deal, to me at least, like, looking on the outside.
Well, I know it. I think it had a lot to do with the
Kevin Bowe.
the changing over in ownership.
Yeah.
And I guess what Chase Del Monte and Brian Fury's vision for the company was going forward after they took it over, and I think Chase was really interested in kind of taking a shot with us.
We were a project, basically.
Essentially.
Like,
and
that's our understanding of the whole deal now, 2 years later.
Yeah.
But,
well, it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked out for everyone.
Like, some context to it, back in the IWE days when I was just doing, like, a singles gimmick, I was, like, cruiserweight champ, essentially, of the company.
Yeah.
There was actually a show that I worked Flip and Chase in a triple threat up there, and we just did, like, like, stunners and rock bottoms because the ring was shitty, and they, like the ropes were awful, so Flip couldn't do any of his cool shit or anything.
I'm sure he would still want to.
He still did.
Yeah, of course he did.
Springboard fucking super kick.
Yeah, nailed it.
What a
totally nailed
asshole.
That was the first time I ever saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
But, that was fun.
We're never
So,
going to be
like,
that good.
Chase knew me from that.
Yeah.
And then I think, we were just doing some seminars at Nepois here and there. Like, not really even, like, training there, a couple sessions here and there. But, we would kind of just pop up, and I can't even really remember now. It's so long ago. But I think, also some people may have put in some good words, guys like Anthony Green. But, Chase remembered me from that, and they were taking over the company, him and Fury, and, Yeah, I don't know.
Seemed like the planets aligned just right.
Right place,
know?
right time. I'm not sure.
And that's one thing you said too, and I say that in wrestling all the time. Like when guys are kind of frustrated that they're not breaking out to the next level, they're all like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I say a lot of times, it's not conducive of what you do. It's honestly a lot of it is who you know. Like that does help in wrestling a lot. So of course the talent has to be there because the people that you do know aren't going to vouch for you unless the talent's there. So like you said, just everything aligned right where it was. You guys ran into AG a couple times before, and he very, very good wrestling mind. He's been chaotic for a while now, so they respect his opinion, and that helped you guys out a lot. So like having things like that like line up, I say it all the time, like TK Orion helped me get in Northeast Wrestling, and that if I didn't have that relationship,
and you helped us get into Northeast Wrestling.
no, and like that's what I mean. Like if I seen you guys and you guys sucked, I wouldn't go up to anyone and be like, hey, what, these guys would be really, really good for.
So we try to pay that forward too. 100%. We try to help out people all the time. Like just after last night, like I think Jim Nasty Boys coming into Limitless might potentially be a thing.
Yeah, and that would be fucking huge.
I would hope so. You know what I mean? And I would really like to see that. And I don't. If we just every time we can, we try to pay it forward, and especially with the kids coming up in our area right now too.
Yeah.
You know what I just remembered? It was fucking NCW that we found out that we were going to Chaotic.
Yeah,
that's where I had my first match.
It was in the locker.
Really?
It was in the locker room,
Crazy.
and Anthony
15.
Green was there, and he was like, "Hey guys, come here." We're like,
Yeah.
"What's up? What's up?"
What's up?
He's like, "All right, keep this hush hush, but I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be coming to Chaotic." We're like, "Shut the fuck up." No way. That's exactly how it went down. We were like,
Shut up.
Yo.
No, but,
I do remember that.
let's
Yeah,
go.
that totally happens.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's where I had my first match when I was 15 years old.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Against who?
Jeremy Leary.
No
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That is
And then,
wild.
dude, and then we ended up
Mind-blowing.
tagging a couple years later, and we were the Punk and Prep Connection, which is the worst tag team name
Oh my God.
of all fucking time. Because this is
Legendary.
pre-Bacon, so and it was pretty much just Brad Hollister, and I had the little fucking the faux hawk going
Yep.
because that was hot
I've
at the
seen some
time.
pictures of that, yep.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awful.
Yep.
It's awful.
Bring that back.
Yeah, no. And we came out, I say it all the time, to the worst entrance music ever. It was a mix between Party Rock, the Party Rock
Okay.
anthem,
All right.
and Blitzkrieg Bop. Which is appropriate, though, because now he has Blitzkrieg Pro. So
Yeah.
I guess this all started with the Pump and Prep connection.
Full for
That's
certain, man.
fantastic.
Holy shit.
Oh, dude. And then, so I was really excited, speaking of Blitzkrieg Pro, when it was myself and Tunis, the closers, against you guys. Because it was another thing where it was like, we seen you guys blowing up everywhere. Again, we talked earlier where it's like, of other tag teams.
Yep.
You guys were one of the tag teams that we knew of that were local. Not local, I mean, Maine is far. But you know what I'm
Semi-local,
saying?
yeah.
So, New England local.
Yeah.
And it was like, we really want to have this match happen. And then when we got to Blitzkrieg, we were like, let's fucking go. And then we're like, all right, we didn't know, because again, when you don't know someone, you know how it is. Like, you don't know how it's going to be putting a match together.
Yep.
And you guys were so easy, but so good, and every idea you guys pitched was fucking solid. So we're like, oh, this is going to be cake. Like, we want to do this everywhere. You know what I mean?
It
and
just
then
makes everything so much easier.
and then Tunis and I both exploded our knees. So,
Oh, brother, man.
but
Killing me.
what do you, because young wrestlers ask all the time, again, how do you get places? How do you get places? Were you guys like ones that were just like email a bunch of places, or you guys saying how you guys went to seminars at New England Pro Wrestling Academy, and that probably helped a lot going into Chaotic forward. So like, do you guys email a lot, show up? Like, what are your guys' strategies with that?
We got into seminars like super early.
Yeah.
And we understood, like, through music, we understood like networking and like how to get your shit out there is to fucking talk to people. And so everywhere we went, everybody that we met, we would sit and talk to them for a little while, you know.
And just like be real about it.
Yeah.
Just be you. Don't try.
Don't,
Just
like me and Paul Crocker were
be-
talking last week about the fake like radio voice. You're not coming
Yeah,
over like,
you know,
hey
yeah,
man,
like, so, like,
we never approach somebody and just try to force a conversation. It's
Yeah.
more one of those things where if it happens organically, then
Definitely.
that's the best way
and like,
to go
don't
about
get
it.
me
'cause-
wrong. I like sometimes anxiety will like force a quick conversation. Like I definitely have issues with that shit. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so yeah, we're both like that. So like that'll happen. That's a little different though. We're not trying to like getting anywhere with fake
Yeah.
conversations. Like, we're real dudes trying to keep it real.
Or like when you
all the
guys get
time.
cornered for a conversation. Like,
Yeah,
when
like
I see
we-
you guys get cornered
yeah.
by Enzo. And, dude, this is
That was wild.
No, okay.
That was wild.
So I'm
We
going to
talk
tell a
about that?
story. Yeah, I'm going to tell it. I don't give a shit.
We need to
Please.
discuss
So,
this.
dude, this is fucking great. So, you guys wrestled against Private Party and Insanely Rude earlier in the night. And then Enzo came over to give you guys tag team advice. And me being the asshole that I am, came over because I was like, I can't wait to pick apart everything he says when he's done talking to these two and tell them like why he is so wrong on everything. And then I walked over and Enzo made so much sense when it came to tag team wrestling psychology.
dude.
And then during his conversation, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, shit, he was still being coached by like the best wrestlers in the world for like 5 years straight every day. So I'm like, motherfucker probably has really good psychology. I'm like, I'm the idiot in this situation.
I think it took. I mean, like, I was just like shocked that he watched our match, let alone was like coming at us and like giving us some advice, because I was just kind of saying, goodbye at the end of the night and just trying to be nice and whatever.
He's
and,
like, yo, that senton,
That's the
cannonball,
coolest fucking move I've ever
seen.
yeah, dude. Oh man, it was just like 15 minutes of him just like.
And 15 is generous.
Yeah, and then you were staying there for 10 of it because you came over and then you just were hanging out. You're just like, kind of like.
Well,
just
dude, so at
right
first,
next to me, just like.
I was
taking it
trying to
all
be an
in, too.
asshole. I was trying to get your guys' attention from behind him because I wanted to like make faces and shit to make you guys pop like while you're having a conversation, and you guys were
so
locked
pissed.
in. So I'm like, all right, I
Yep.
gotta go over
It
there
happens.
and make this happen. And then I got locked in, and I'm like, motherfucker, like
was a
I did
good
not expect this
conversation.
at
It
all.
was really good, man.
Very insightful, honestly. It was great. Like wrestling.
Wasn't expecting it.
Wrestling's wild.
I wasn't expecting it. I came over to fucking just rain on the parade, and Jesus Christ, motherfucker had an umbrella.
It's just cool that he did that because like he didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah,
Like he recorded our match, let alone watched it.
and
Like
it-
and came at us with advice. Like that was.
And that's why next time
amazing.
you see him in the ring, he's gonna do he's gonna get cast to do a front flip off the top, and he's gonna do a cannonball.
Yeah,
Yep. Motherfucker.
Doing our shit.
Oh shit. Now we're talking about like again branching out, getting to a bunch of different places and all that. Now you guys have been getting outside of New England a lot lately, which again, that's everyone's goal, and that should be everyone's goal. Like,
Absolutely.
I say it all the time when people want to get to the next level, that's what you should try to do, because it's when people wrestle just like at one place for a while or like a couple places for a while, like I feel like it breeds complacency, and also it's not good for the fans because the fans are going to be seeing
Yeah.
the same matchups every fucking time for,
Drives me crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
So-
it really does.
That's one of those things that once you get in that groove, you can feel it, and you know that you either have to come up with something new or take the act on the road, so to speak.
and that's one of
Something's
those
got to give.
like
Basically.
like even saying like you have been at Limitless for a while. Look how many changes you guys made in that time. Like the look from day one to the look from now, completely different almost. You guys were just a tag, and then you had a third, and now you guys are tag again. You know what I mean? So like, it's one of those things. If you are gonna stay somewhere, try to evolve. And you guys been doing that great. But now, like I was saying, you guys branching out everywhere. Where are some places that you guys definitely want to get into
Oh man.
going forward?
There's a lot. Places. Well, for starters, we do have our passports now. We got those.
Let's fucking go.
uh,
International State Posse.
100%.
Yes, exactly. We were supposed to go to Nova Scotia last weekend or a few weekends ago, and
last weekend, because we had
show got
last weekend
canceled
off.
like week of. You
It
It
was
was,
Damn
it was supposed to be a
Canadians.
whole
Love it.
weekend too.
I'm just kidding, all my Canadian listeners. We actually do have listeners again. So some of our weird spots. Yeah, I'm all over the place, as you guys could
I
see.
love it.
One of our weird spots is like we have like 2 in Chile. We get 2 downloads
Really?
in Chile per
No
episode.
doubt.
So
That's cool, man.
thanks, my Chile people, my Chileans.
Hey, Chileans.
What up?
What's up?
But continue. I'm sorry, guys. You guys going everywhere.
Yeah,
Again.
man.
Hey, Canadians.
international.
Y'all Canadian listeners out there. Get MSP up in your parts.
Yeah, we actually do have a
We-
good.
we wanna be
contingency
all up in
Canada.
I just want to go everywhere, man. I want to see the world too. Outside of wrestling, like just as a person, like I want to see everywhere. You know what I mean? But like there are a lot of like specific companies. Like, up in Canada, like, we want to be at C4, we want to be at Alpha One,
Yeah.
we want to be at
Smash.
Smash, Midwest, Glory Pro, want to go back to freelance, AEW,
Yes.
Rockstar
Yeah.
Pro, all these places. Like, let's go.
So, people
wanna
out
do
there,
it.
fucking tag these places and let them know MSP's where it's at, because as a person who has a tag team in New England, I could safely say best tag team in New England. So,
Thanks,
make
buddy.
sure you guys make this shit happen. Well, no, and it's, again, one of those things where, like, you guys, everywhere I, like, see, you guys are literally in the top places all around, and, like I said, branching out even more, getting to other places. So, where Tunis and I, like, we have certain places where we just do our own thing, and, like, we're not a tag everywhere. We're a tag maybe 3-4 companies in general. So, you guys tagging everywhere, you guys chemistry's off the fucking hook. You guys have really cool and, like, innovative ideas. So having, like I said, I could safely say best tag team in New England because of how much you guys are just, like, in sync on everything. Like, and does that go back to being friends kind of before it? Or is it when you guys were training together, were you guys, like, each other's partner all the time?
Yeah.
We
that helps.
Day one partners.
We came into it literally thinking that probably the best way for us to improve and I guess just get out there in general would be to just start out tagging, because that way we already had a travel partner in each other and we would basically progress at the same level, because everywhere one of us was, the other one was too. So it just worked out that way. So everything that we do, all of our movements, fucking anything that you see us do, like, we were right next to each other from day one. So like we know each other that deep.
I saw him outside of that show that first time, and, like, I was like, I'm doing the very next class, and that was like an hour away. I rode with him to that class.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
I
That's how
had
it's
one.
been
I
ever
trained
since.
one session without him, and that was because he didn't know it was happening.
What a prick, right?
I know. Fuck
What a
you.
fucking asshole.
But by fate, I happened to just be going to that show because I did find out that show existed,
It, like,
and it all happened.
That's
It was
wild,
such a
dude. That's wild.
random.
It's a pretty slim margin.
happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
If I had gone like a month earlier and, like, not gone back to that show because it sucked or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this might have never happened. We not be here right now. I don't know.
No, that's fucking dope, guys.
Stars align sometimes.
No, and that's like, and again, tags always have, like, those weird stories like that where Tunis and I never knew each other before getting into wrestling, but we've interacted so much without knowing it. We had the same amateur wrestling coach, which we didn't know that until like much later. And at my mom's house, and I still got to find this picture because I know it's there because I showed him it before. At the state tournaments at the youth level, what they would do instead of paying actual referees is they would let the high school kids ref the matches because they know the rules, they wrestle. Mm-hmm. So there's a picture of a high school Tunis raising a probably like 6th grade Bacon's hand in an amateur wrestling match.
Kidding.
Wow. Yeah, so like, yeah, dude. So it's like shit like that with tag teams where it's like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild to me. Like, I feel like that's.
And it's funny because
fuck
like
what I said about us. Like, that don't even matter. That's some crazy shit.
No, dude, and it's like,
I need to see that picture.
and that's what I know. The second I find it, I'm gonna put it up online
Oh my
because
God.
it's my mom. She's a generic mom when it comes to pictures. Like, just has drawerfuls
She has
of
them all,
pictures.
man.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
Yep.
if I really want to sit there, it's gonna
Yeah.
be like a daily event.
Yep.
Like, I'm there
I think
for
it's
hours.
worth it, though, man.
It's-
I'll help you. We'll come down. We'll shift through it
You know
all.
what?
Let's-
My mom's like 15 minutes away from here.
Let's
fucking
go.
right
Let's
now.
go. Play
Western
quick-
Mass, we're gonna be a little late today.
Play a quick game of Guitar Hero on the way out the door and head to Mom.
And head to Mom's and we're gonna fucking make this happen. Oh shit. So we have a couple questions. We got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot there was.
I try to sprinkle them in. You know.
That's good. That's good.
What's the secret sauce that makes MSP work so well? Matt Douglas would like to know.
Well, it is actually our own signature Heel Heat MSP hot sauce that we have for sale. $10 a bottle.
And
If you
habanero
like
and
one,
blueberry habanero.
hit me up and
So-
I will sell you one.
No bullshit. If you look out in my kitchen, I have all my sauces in a drawer, and then I have my sauces I use a lot out of that drawer. And you could look, there's probably like 3 or 4 of them, and the habanero sauce is definitely in there. It's like my favorite sauce.
Yeah,
Fuck
man.
yeah.
And that's not even a plug. It's just fucking delicious sauce. Because, like, I
good
like
stuff.
spicy, and that has, like, the perfect level of spice. where it's spicy
It's
enough,
good.
but I'm not sweating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a little goes a long way, too.
Yes.
You know, just
yes.
a little dab.
A lot of times, you know what I like to do? I like to mix it with a little Jamaican jerk. Ooh, yeah.
I like
I'll
your
do a little
style.
Fucking little dip. So
Yeah.
now the Jamaican jerk got a little spice taste to it, and
Yeah.
we're fucking, now we're cooking.
And, you know, I think it might be time for a new flavor, so maybe that'll happen sometime soon.
Maybe like
I don't know. We'll
a
see.
bacon-related flavor.
Oh,
Maybe
man,
bacon
spicy
related-
bacon.
Oh, maybe a little bit of collab action.
Dude,
I have
that's-
to talk to my guy from Heel Heat.
We'll call him up real quick.
Yep.
Western Mass, we're going to be late.
We got shit to do
We
today.
got so much to do today. It's a fucking busy day.
Got business.
So, Joe Gramont wants to know, how did you guys figure out the remix to Heathens was the perfect for your guys' entrance music? Because, that's another thing, when I seen that video that I was telling you guys about earlier, in
Yeah.
my head I'm like, that would make great entrance music. And I don't think I was on a show with you guys to that point. Maybe like I've seen you guys in passing or whatever.
Yeah.
But the next show I was on, you guys came out to that. The next show I seen you guys came out to that, and I was like, oh, good shit.
Yep.
Like, good shit.
Yep.
So when you guys say, like, oh, that's our song, because me and Casanova were talking about entrance music for, like, half the podcast when he was on.
Dude, it's really funny because
Yeah, that's a story.
like MSP originated in NCW fucking 12 years ago with Alex Chamberlain and Alexander Lee, and then we were the second rendition of that coming back to
I think
NCW.
we're actually like the third.
or the third, yeah.
Really?
I don't even remember who
We're the latest.
who
Yeah,
the
there's-
first rendition of it was.
There's a lineage
So you guys
of
like
MSP.
the
that
new
we're not
MSP?
entirely
Yeah.
No, the new MSP.
Yeah,
we're
no,
like
we-
MSP V3.
See, it
Let's
was
fucking
just in
go.
that company. We asked for, basically permission from John Casey. It was like, yo, can we take this name and like
It's a great name.
run
We
with
can't
it?
think
You
of
know
a
what I
better
mean? Like,
name, so can we have
yeah,
this one?
because we were trying to think like we were
Pretty
doing-
solid name, guys.
We had like 3 characters, and like we were doing DK and Aggro there, and we were doing MSP, and
Yeah.
we just want to do one thing and have one name, and we couldn't think of anything better. So we were just like, can we just take it? And he was like, he gave us the blessing because he's fucking awesome, and he actually made like a random.
Yeah, he made our first
highlight
little
video.
highlight
Yeah.
video. It
Yeah.
was like all from It was all NCW footage, and
He picked the song.
he
originally.
used the original song
Yeah,
"Heathens" by
like-
21 Pilots,
Yeah.
like the original like mellow one.
Yep.
And we were
together
like,
a cool little
shit, like
video.
let's just use this as our entrance music. And at NCW, that version was our entrance music until one day we worked together too. Like outside of
Okay,
wrestling,
that's
like we
fucking
worked
sick.
together,
Yeah.
so we would just sit there and just fucking stew on wrestling all
Jesus
goddamn
Christ.
This
day.
happened
You
after
guys
we
are like
started
me and
training.
Judas so much.
Yeah,
It's
after,
ridiculous.
after training, I got a job at where he worked at. We both worked in a group home.
Oh,
And,
shit. Yeah,
so
we
a lot of
Judas both
downtime.
taught children, so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wild. No tag team.
But yeah, we had some downtime, and like it was one of those things where we liked the song, and we were like, let's see if there's any covers out there that are this song and are a little bit, heavier.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little more us.
Yeah.
You know? Just a little bit.
And we searched for like a couple hours.
Probably 2 hours.
And
not gonna
we-
lie. Just on YouTube, just going through. Well, there's a lot of dubstep remixes
Yeah.
and just like stuff that didn't work.
Well,
But there's-
what year was this?
fucking 2016, 2017.
Oh, no, see, dubstep should have already been dead. What's going
I don't
on?
know.
It was on its way out, man. But
But
I mean, there's
still,
still people out there trying to keep that shit alive.
A lot of covers, a lot of remixes.
And
to
we
shift through.
eventually we found one, and
Yeah, you did.
it was had a nice metal vibe to it, a little more us, and it was like, all right, well, this is the one because this is literally the best one that we found that fits.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, cool. He was like, I'm gonna look like for just a little bit more, a little bit longer.
I was like, I'm not sold. I wasn't sold. He was pretty dead set, and I was like, I guess, but I'm like, it's almost there, but not quite. I couldn't tell you what version that is.
That's
now.
another fucking tag team thing too, where it's like when you're pitching something to your partner and you're so excited about it, and they
they're
come
like,
back with that, they're like,
That's dumb.
"Eh,"
I
and
don't
you're
like
like,
that.
"Oh, it's
Nope.
perfect." What do you mean?
We have a lot of
And-
that.
Oh
too.
yeah, man, we do that. So that happens.
But
all
yeah,
the time.
man, I looked for another like 10 minutes, and I found the one that we use by Something You Whisper. That so many people ask us like who does that cover. Like we get that in our inbox at least once a week.
Yep.
Easy. We get that at shows all the time. Like people love that shit because it's good.
Yeah.
and it's easily the best one that we found. It blew the one that you found out of the water.
It
no
did.
offense,
It
it
did.
really did. We knew it right
No,
away.
Fucked
He
it up.
played it, and I was like, "Yep,
Dude,
that's the one."
'Cause I think I had headphones in. I was like listening to it. I was like, holy shit! And I fucking unplugged. I'm like, dude, fucking hit play.
Yeah.
And he was just like, looked at me and he's like, yup. just like,
This is it. Oh no,
So good.
And it was so funny when me and Dakota were driving around, and when I shared the picture of you guys with the suits and like asked for the questions, no bullshit. Next song that came on the radio was the 21 Pilots version of
No
it.
doubt.
And I was like, Dakota, this is so weird. She's like, why? I'm like, I just shared this picture, and she's like, what the fuck?
Dude, that shit happens to me all of the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, dude, I have two girls, and when they're in bed, we play
Daughters, by the way, daughters.
Yeah.
Because at first people were like, yo, Aggro's just slinging chicks right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I got two girls, you know. No
biggie.
they hold it down.
a little more settled down than that. No, I have two young daughters, and we play lullabies on their Echo Dot.
Yep.
And I got up one night, I think we were like, I just like hit you up about something, like some idea
Middle
that I
night,
had, even
randomly.
if it like never came to fruition. But I sent him that, and he's like, "That's a fucking fantastic idea." And like, I'm getting up off my couch, about to go in the bedroom, and I fucking hear a lullaby version of Heathens playing in my kid's fucking bedroom, and I'm like, "What the fuck
All my
is
friends are
going
here
on?"
to say.
Dude, it's like played on like fucking xylophone, and it's beautiful. And I'm gonna use it in something eventually.
You're like, you know what? I have a better version of that song we can come out to.
Listen,
Plug the fucking iPod in real quick. Wake your daughters up.
Oh,
Blast
dude,
that shit.
thank God you said Echo Dot, because I did a fucking pay-per-view review, and I used Mrs. Bliss's first name, and my Mrs. Bliss. I don't want to say the word because it's going to start just like being like, ooh, sorry, I didn't hear that. My Alexa went off. Alexa, don't say anything on this podcast. It's not for you.
yeah.
Yeah, she didn't say anything. Let's go.
Way to bite
Oh,
your tongue.
Dude, it was
Wow.
so bad. It was so bad
That's
the whole time. Anytime I was reviewing that match, it would just
She
be like,
wanted to say something, too.
Oh
She
yeah.
lit
up.
Oh yeah. She was
lit up.
ready.
dude, I yelled. I'm sorry. Sorry, babe.
Lit right up when you got
She knows you're talking to her.
She knows. She knows. She knows. So,
Lights up on the inside.
so this is a question for Danger Kid. Reggie Bamford wants to know, how do you keep your mustache so phenomenal?
Dude, you just gotta find yourself some good old mustache wax, man.
Wax?
Yeah, you
See,
can
I
use
use
anyways.
I use essential beard oils.
Oh,
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. And it's
I
so
mean, like
funny.
when it's long enough to curl. But I mean, I just assumed he was talking about the picture that you put up specifically because I do have.
No, but
the
I
curly.
think right now your mustache is still phenomenal.
I don't do anything to it.
Fuck, you just let it be.
You know what? My papa, who actually I'm named after, I'm actually my legal name the second. You know, so
Really?
yes, I'm named like full name and everything. He had an amazing mustache.
Well, dude, if you ever fucking
so I think I got that from him.
go full heel,
Oh yeah.
the second anything is a
Absolutely.
bad guy. Like, have you ever heard of the second in wrestling that was like, oh, I like this guy. What a good guy.
Yep.
Never.
But yeah, no, there's some. I wish I had like a specific product to put over, but I don't. Like just some mustache wax. You can get it like anywhere. It's like pretty cheap.
Oh no, dude. So the shit that I use because I'm growing out the I'm hurt beard, aka I don't want to, aka I don't want to stand in front of my mirror and
Look
shave.
good. Look good.
So
You should keep it.
I have this like beard oil stuff that one of my family members got me like 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh shit, I can actually use this now. And man, it feels so nice.
Nice.
It feels so nice. It's nice and soft. But my mustache has like 1 or 2 hairs that flip up, and it touches my nose.
yeah.
So I'm constantly like doing. You guys can't see it at home, but it looks like I'm doing like the Hitler finger mustache. But I'm really just trying to push down my mustache hair.
See, I rubbed the bottom of my nose with the top of my lip, trying to get them out.
Ooh, that's a good move. That's why during the interview I pulled out a comb. You guys probably like, what is he doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to keep my
Dude, you have
mustache
to.
down.
You have to, man. It sucks.
3 sweet stashes here doing the fucking podcast today.
This shit's harder to do than you would think.
Someone, Terry Duffy wanted to know if digging up your passports was that the foreshadowing to breaking up with Alexander Lee, or what? Was that a little
That's deep, man.
That's deep. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
hit him with the old yes?
Yes. So that happened. That video dropped before the Limitless Vacation link up. I gotta throw that up on Twitter. That never made it to Twitter. I feel like that should probably see the light of day there. So
Yeah.
But
we're bad at things.
someone remind me to do that.
Advertising, what's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of advertisements, I have advertisements now. Yeah, I got sponsors for the show. I don't know. I mean, hey, guess what? If I'm gonna end up, I haven't decided if I want to do the commercials at the beginning, for the fans, or if I want to do them sprinkle them in. So if I am gonna sprinkle them in, this would be the moment to do it, John Roy.
Hell yeah.
So if you're editing, that's what you're gonna do. If not, we got another question from Joey G. You guys mesh so well as a tag team. From one time I saw you in the videos I've looked up. How do you guys become so fluid with each other, and how did you guys get put together as a team?
Well, see
Great
the last
question, Joey G.
40 minutes of this podcast. And
Yeah,
I think you'll.
That's how we know how you guys gel. But you guys put yourself together as a team.
Yeah.
It's fucking badass.
It was a no-brainer.
Like when we started, see the funny thing, when we started at IWE, we each had different singles characters, completely different characters, and we knew we wanted to tag, so we came up with this whole gimmick all by ourselves and presented it to our trainer and told him that we wanted to do it.
What were your gimmicks before? I gotta know.
We got a couple morph suits, skeleton morph suits, a black one and a white one, and DK found these fucking
Jack Skellington,
Nightmare Before Christmas style lucha masks, and he's like, let's try to roll with this and see what we can come up with. And we ended up taking the morph suits and we cut them so it wasn't the whole suit, because dude, even as much as we cut off, that shit was still so hot.
Oh dude, no chance.
Wrestling.
I wrestled with a mask once in my life.
It was miserable.
And I came back Brock Lesnar levels of purple.
I would just
I couldn't breathe.
I'd be on the apron and I would pull my mask down and just fucking gasp, fucking suck air out of the bottom. When I would get through done with my shit and tag him in, I'd just sit there.
We cut the legs off the morph suit, and those were our kick pad covers.
Yeah, we cut the legs off, and then we cut the toes and the heels, and we made fucking kick pad sleeves. So it actually looked like bone kick pads.
And the suits were alternate. So they were mine was white with black stitching, and his whole thing was black with white stitching. So we were complete opposites. Everything we wore, the opposite color, the other one had.
That's pretty dope.
And it just that's how it all started.
And we figured if we went under hoods when we were getting our start, we could get comfortable in ring with ourselves, and then it would be better for us once we took them off, because we would already be comfortable and established.
And two, when you don't have the luxury of being able to show your face, you have to sell extra with your body. Yep. Everything has to be bigger and shit like that. So that probably helped you guys too, because you guys take fucking wild bumps and take good bumps and sell well. So I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, that was another thing too. The characters didn't talk. We never talked. So
we were some henchmen. We were just
we would either have a voice
completely silent. We let our bodies do everything for us.
See, that fucking
that helped us so much. I want to say anybody coming up in wrestling go under a hood, because we were the good looking ones in our class. And we were the only ones that were under hood, and it was our idea, and that helped us so much. That helped us so much. Eventually, we had some singles characters. I was Levi Lexington, he was Amon Jordan, and we were, we wrestled twice on the shows.
You should have been Lexington the second.
I know, right?
Fuck.
Missed opportunities.
Now, I'll give advice. If you do go under the hood, make sure your cardio's good. Because you just heard 3 people say how hard it is. Because, dude, like I said, I'll admit it. I'll finally admit this in person. I am Tocino Grande. Yes. I know. A lot of people down at PvP didn't believe it.
What?
Even when I took the mask off and I showed it was my face, they were still like, wait, that can't be him. But that one match I wrestled with a mask, I literally got to the back. I took the mask off, and I was trying to cover my tattoo, so I had the long Under Armour sleeves, and I had tights on all the way down.
Idea.
Dude, I got to the back, and I'm a heavy sweater as
I'm sweating
dude.
just thinking about it.
So I ripped that mask off, and it's we're in a Macy's that got shut down. That's where the show was taking place.
Hell yeah.
So I get to the back, I rip the mask off, and I lay down, and I'm just like, and dude, you ever see oh my god, why am I having a brain fart right now? The football movie with Adam Sandler, where they're in jail. Longest Yard.
Hell yeah.
I was about to say Long Shots, but I'm like, that's on Netflix. But you know when Joey Diaz is all fucked up and he's laying down? He's like, can of corn, I'll be fine. I'm like, that's how I look right now. I'm there's no way I don't look like
fantastic.
that. Can of corn, I'll be fine.
So, masks suck, but I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. But
it
I mean,
helps. It helps.
I personally think it's a great way to start.
Yep.
Yeah.
I highly recommend
100%.
And I just
And
feel
too, if like your first couple matches suck, you could be like, that wasn't me.
exactly. You
I
get
don't
the
know who
feel
that
for
man
it.
is.
Who the
You know?
fuck? That guy stinks.
You know?
I don't know him.
You only get one first impression, with
That is true.
with
That's
crowd
why
members, you know?
when I
We
met
had the opportunity to have 3.
when my sister had their baby, right? I had her baby. It was my little nephew. So I showed up to the hospital in a suit, and she said, "Why are you wearing a suit?" I was like, "You don't get a second chance at a first impression, Carrie." I'm like, this kid is gonna be like, "Yo, my uncle's a businessman.
Big fat.
Look at that business suit."
Look at that guy.
Joey G also wants to know, and he asks this every time, and it upsets me every time. Pineapple on pizza.
Fuck no.
Yeah, Joey.
Fuck
No.
you, Joey.
Flip said yeah,
no,
but he's gross.
no.
Fuck Flip.
Fuck
No.
Flip. Nah, I
I'm
love you,
just
Flip.
kidding. I like
No,
Flip. I
actually
like
no.
Joey G.
Right,
I
as of
don't
right
know,
now, fuck
do
Flip.
I know Joey G? Who's Joey
He
G?
goes to the Northeast wrestling shows.
I might know. Cool. You're cool, man.
You're
But no,
cool.
Pineapple on pizza sucks.
Sucks.
I respect your yeah, you can do it, but like, fuck that.
Yo, did you ever have that conversation with Flip about how he eats cereal?
That was one of the first. So clearly you don't listen.
Dog, I told you. It's on my queue.
Oh, okay. You know what? As long as I'm getting the download, I'm
You're on
okay.
the queue,
You don't have to
dog.
listen.
Don't
Just-
worry.
Just give me the download. Give me 5 stars. That's all I give a shit about.
I'm subscribed. Don't look that up yet. Give me 10 minutes.
Son of a bitch. No, but on the first Flippin' Bacon, that was the one that we argued about because we were wondering, we're like, all right, we're doing these segments where it's like me and Flip we find something we disagree on and we just argue about it. And we see if we can get the other one to our side or if it's a wash. And our first one was the milk first argument. And I said, I want to do that one first. He was like, yeah, but that's not controversial. I said, it is to me, Flip. I said, you don't understand how much that upsets me. So our first Flippin' Bacon was just me going off on Flip
gotta
about
get
how
back
wrong
and
he
listen to
is. You got to go back
I
because,
got it.
dude, I make some solid points. My number one solid point, no one makes like a thing of milk, like a cup of milk for you to pour cereal in. But they make those cups of cereal for you to pour milk in. And that was my fucking closing argument. I was
Yep.
like, you can't
That's
fucking
good.
argue. That's fucking
That's
science. That's facts.
True.
Shit's done.
More
that
science
way.
and facts. Wes Everett's just says 2 good-looking guys. It's not a question, but it's a statement.
Well-
and he's not wrong.
Well, no, he is kind of wrong because at the moment there's 3 good-looking guys here.
Well, right now there is.
Big
But
facts.
I think
Big
he's talking
facts.
about that sexy picture.
I
you guys
mean,
with the
either
suit.
way,
That is a
either
sexy
way.
picture.
Just wanted to get that out there.
So we're wrapping up here. Let the people know where they can find MSP, what you guys are going to be doing in the next couple weeks. I know what we're doing today. It's going to be, by the time this drops, it's going to be 6 days ago. But we're at
yeah.
Western Mass today. What do you guys got
We
coming
got
up?
shit to do. We got to play
Shit to do.
fucking Guitar Hero. You can find us on the internet. That's it.
What's the
Oh,
act?
man, yeah, we
What's
got
the
some handles. We got
fucking be
handles
great,
out here on Twitter at Maine State Posse. I am at He Is Aggro.
And at I Am the Danger Kid on Instagram and Twitter. And we have individual Facebook pages. Just type it in. You know how social media works. You know
You'll
what our
find 'em.
names are.
We're not hard
Go
guys
find
to
us.
find.
And what shows you guys got coming up?
Well, we're gonna be back at Chaotic Wrestling here next weekend.
Yep, along with Let's Wrestle, and I will be on Wrestling As Tomorrow on Sunday, just me, flying solo. I'm in the scramble,
Ooh.
gonna do some shit.
I know, we didn't even get to talk about Let's Wrestle that much. That's why I want to talk about it
We're
a lot.
gonna have to
but
do a part 2.
We're going to have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
We're going to have to fucking
After
make
we're
this
done
happen.
doing all the shit we
After
gotta
we're done
do today.
Guitar Hero, calling your sauce guy, we had something
Shifting-
else that I already
shifting through
forgot.
Mom's pictures.
Shifting through my mom's pictures.
Yep.
We're
Yo,
fucking,
yo, Bacon.
We got shit to
we
do.
got a busy day.
Bacon, dog. Like, you mentioned what? And, like, that's where our thing started, bro.
Oh,
And,
shit,
like,
we didn't bring up
we
our
haven't
thing.
said a
God.
goddamn thing
about our thing.
our thing.
Danny Miles did come up in conversation too.
and Danny Miles.
Son
came
of a
up,
bitch. Well, I'm not
which
a smart
apparently,
guy.
like, you might have a thing with, but probably not.
I don't know.
No,
about our
okay,
team.
so-
It's dwindling, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you might have to leave for this Danger Kid, so we could talk about our thing
I'm
real
sitting
quick.
in the middle. I'm
Yeah,
staying right here.
Okay, well, in our heads, you're gone. Because
Yeah.
you're not a part of our thing.
Yeah.
So, we're all standing, I'll tell the story, we're all standing there, right? And Danny Miles walks up to Danger Kid and says, well, that's our thing. I don't even know what the context was, but he goes, that's our thing. Me and Aggro, we felt left out.
Oh, you
Like,
have a fucking
you guys
thing
have
now?
a thing. So we
Oh,
said,
okay.
we have a thing. And then now, that turned into, we actually have a thing
Yeah,
where
it's a
anytime we're on a
thing.
show together, we got to take a fucking beautiful prom picture together.
Yeah, we have a fucking photo.
We have a
album now.
thing. And your guys' thing, I never seen that on the internet.
No, our thing is non-existent. Our thing is
because it's not real. Ours, being aggros, we have a real thing
it's
going.
not real. I'm saying it's clearly not as special because Danny Miles doesn't love me.
He doesn't.
He doesn't love you.
And maybe that's their thing now.
I just need
Danny
him
Miles
to
just
love
treats
me.
you like shit, and we treat each other like fucking princesses.
That's right.
God damn. I'm
Man.
sad now.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
gonna
you.
fucking cry.
Danny.
Everybody be on the lookout, though, for that Bacon and Eggs photo album. Coming out 2020.
Yeah, so for our thing anniversary, I think I'm just gonna make you a quilt with all our pictures.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Because we take our thing serious.
Can I get one?
Hell yeah.
Nope, you can't.
Square?
I'm gonna make you a couple photo throw pillows.
No, you know I'm gonna.
For your couch.
Oh, you fucking
them right in your living room.
stud, dude.
I'll make you extra so you can have some on your bed too.
I'm gonna put you guys' faces on a beach towel.
No, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be with Danny Miles, not having a real thing.
Me and Danny Miles don't have merchandise.
Okay, I was about to say, is the thing over? Are we breaking news?
Are we calling it quits?
I don't know if I can do that on air.
Oh, dude.
Danny Miles.
Danny, I gotta have you on because we gotta talk about
Danny,
if your
call
thing's
me.
over.
We need to talk. It's weird because my name's Danny too.
Oh no!
I think that's why.
Was that the thing?
Maybe that's our thing. Actually,
Oh.
that's probably the thing.
Oh well,
It's a pretty shitty thing.
Hey, let's not sit here and have revelations about things that aren't things. So
Yeah.
Fucking Christ!
Don't even sweat it.
guys, thank
Let's
you
just delete that part of this podcast.
of their
'cause,
bullshit thing,
Yeah, it's not even.
and we'll just keep talking about our real thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, the last 5 minutes of it.
We'll cut it back like. We'll cut it back like 2 minutes where we're only talking about our thing.
The real thing.
Fuck.
All right, guys, thanks so much for coming down to Cassidy Bacon.
Hey, thank
love
you, man.
Now that was our interview with the Maine State Posse. I want to thank those guys coming down to Cassidy Bacon to be recording What's Sizzling, and honestly, that was one of the most fun interviews we've had. So, thank you guys for coming down. Now, I don't like to do too many reviews. Like I said, I don't want to make the show a review show, but you guys seemed to like it the first time, so here we go again. I'm going to review AEW Dynamite Episode 2. And they started off the show with very, very good tag match. Private Party and the Young Bucks. It was a slower pace than I thought it was going to be before going into the match. I like knowing these two teams. I thought it was going to be very, very, very fast paced. But they took a nice slow pace, and honestly, Young Bucks did a great job of getting the crowd behind Private Party. And Private Party, those two guys, fucking stars right off the bat. In AEW, they've been killing it. And to see the crowd get into them the way they did was awesome. Huge false when Mark Quinn hit the shooting star on, I think it was Matt Jackson. I thought that was it right there. Like, I literally was like, oh my god, Private Party's going to win. And then when he kicked out, I was like, oh no, they're definitely not going to win now because nothing's going to be hotter than that. And then they ended up pulling out the victory, reversing the Meltzer driver. So, huge upset in their tag title tournament. And I really like that going forward because, again, it was something you wouldn't expect to happen. And Young Bucks getting eliminated round 1 of the AEW inaugural Tag Team Championship tournament. So, seeing that happen, very, very surprising, very, very good. Great finish, Private Party up. Great things all around. Then after that, we had Jericho promo where he introduced the Inner Circle, which consists of formerly LAX, which I don't think they have a team name yet, and AEW. So, yeah, it's them. We got Sammy Guevara, we got Jake Hager, and Chris Jericho, which seeing Hager in AEW was fucking awesome last week because out of all the guys that I've been lucky enough to share a locker room with, Jake is by far the coolest of all of them. Super fucking laid back, wicked cool guy. So I say it all the time, no one deserves success more than him. That's why I've been happy. He's been killing it in MMA so far with Bellator, and seeing him continue to kill it now in professional wrestling, fucking awesome. So he introduced everyone, put everyone over, and a great Jericho promo. Shocker, right? Then after that, we had Darby and Havoc, and for notes on this match, I straight up just put Darby so special, man. Darby's another guy, very lucky. I got to share the ring with him a couple times, and just, he's so fucking different in such a good way, where I think a lot of guys go out of the way to be different, and they try to be different, where Darby just is different, and that's the biggest compliment you could give in wrestling, because you can't say you see any other wrestler in Darby Allin. You can't say, well, I see a young Rey Mysterio in him. Like, no, like, there's only one Darby Allin, and there's going to be people who are going to try to model themselves after him because, again, so different, so special, unique, one of a kind. Very happy to see him get the win, not only on a personal level, I think they have a huge star on their hands level. I think Darby is going to be one of those guys that maybe before AEW a lot of people didn't know about, but once AEW continues to keep this momentum rolling, I think he's going to be a guy that is going to be making big splashes. And one thing I really liked about this match was the commentary team was putting over how Jimmy Havoc working Darby's hands and his arm is different because everyone just throws Darby around, and Darby's used to taking a beating, used to getting thrown around, where he's not used to someone picking apart a limb. So really, really like that touch by the commentary team, which I remember around the first couple events, they're getting a little slack online, but I think the commentary team is absolutely hitting their stride. But you got to think of one of those things when they first got on to the team, they probably didn't know a lot about these guys, but now that AEW has a couple events under their belt, the commentary team is really starting to know these guys, and they're starting to pick up on different little stories, so I thought they smashed it out of the park tonight. After that match, we had Rio and Britt Baker versus Priestley and Sakura. Rio, I thought, was great in this match. Everything she did was so crisp and so, again, like we were talking about the last match being different. Everything she did, I never seen in a wrestling ring. A couple of things she did. One thing I thought was weird about this match, when they did the little split screen with the commercials, I thought the action was so much better during that time when more of the focus was on the commercial than it was when there was no commercials going on at all. I thought before the commercials came on, it was kind of slow. And then once they put the commercial in the corner and then the commercial was taking a majority of the screen up, I was watching the action and I thought it was picking up great and I thought everything was looking good. The finishing sequence was great. One of the, Baker gets the win with the Rings of Saturn combined with a mandible claw, which led to the best line of the night of Jim Ross going, a real dentist using a real mandible claw. What the hell is happening? And I don't know why that fucking killed me. I was dying. After that, we had Sean Spears versus Jon Moxley. Hot start. Super, super hard-hitting match. I was like, these guys are beating the holy hell out of each other. They were fucking every time they hit each other, you heard a noise. Like, they were laying it in, and I thought it was really, really good for the paper or for the television show. Tully Blanchard was perfect in this match. Every time he interjected himself, I thought it was fucking very, very nice touch, and it was done in such a great way. Shocker, Tully Blanchard being the fucking man. Mox up with the paradigm shift. Omega came out post-match with a barbed wire bat and a barbed wire broom. Threw Mox the bat, said, let's go. And then Pac, who was on commentary the whole time, came out, hit Omega in the back of the head with the chair. And then it ended there. Then we had the main event tag match with Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page versus Jericho and Guevara. Jericho main event 2 weeks in a row, starting off AEW. Dustin was hot after Jericho right in the beginning. Thought this match was great all around. It was exactly what I expected it to be in a good way. Like I said, everyone performed. I would not expect anything less of all the competitors in the match. Swagger on the outside looked like a fucking animal. Big, like, old school heater, which I really like that, where the big guy is coming in, whooping some ass and taking some names, then when the referee turns around, fucking, what do you mean? I didn't do nothing. So, love Swagger in that role. Thought he killed it. Afterwards, after Jericho went up with the Judas effect on Dustin Rhodes, Lights Out, Cody came out. Fucking place went absolutely berserk. Cody took out, I believe it was Guevara. And then Jericho and Ortiz and Santana got on him, started beating him down. And then fucking here comes MJF with the chair. They tease that MJF is going to turn on Cody, which isn't going to happen. Those fucking guys are best friends. I don't know why anyone is reading through any tea leaves that they think might be out there. Those fucking two are best friends. So MJF obviously isn't going to turn on Cody. Starts beating the shit out of the inner circle with the chair. And then Jericho takes him out right afterwards. in a circle standing tall for a little bit. Jericho started to walk up the ramp, and Darby comes skateboarding down the ramp, fucking takes out Jericho, starts beating the shit out of him, because like I said earlier, we learned that Darby's the new number one contender for the AEW Championship, and really sent that match next week into, getting people into it, because again, Jericho's one of those guys that everyone in the world knows who he is. Darby is getting introduced to this worldwide audience, and for him to skateboard down the ramp and take out, multiple time world champion Chris Jericho, fucking really cool way to end the show. Really cool way to get people behind Darby for next week, which I think they're gonna be. I think they're in Philly next week, which is a very educated wrestling town. So they're going to know who Darby Allin is, and they're going to be all behind him because Darby does some special shit. And then it closed with funniest. That's why I said it's so great about MJF. He's so great at making moments about himself in the best way possible. Like, the show ends, we have Darby taking out Jericho with the skateboard, and then, they're standing tall. Jericho is storming off, cutting promos, and it ends with MJF running up to Cody saying, I tried. And then one of the Young Bucks go to ask if MJF's okay. He fucking smacks his hand away. Get your hand away from me. So I thought that was such a great way to end the show. Overall, love the show. Thought I liked week 1 a lot. I really did. I loved the first episode, but I thought episode 2 was so much stronger. I thought production was right there. I mean, they're missing moves once in a while, but I'm not blaming production on that, nor am I blaming the wrestlers. I think they're just having such kick-ass matches. It's hard to keep up with the action. So overall, great show. I can't wait to watch next week. If you guys are into this review, I'll probably keep reviewing these once in a blue. Like I said, I want to do it every week, but maybe do the first couple and we'll see how it goes. So there we go. There's the AEW review, and that's what's sizzling, baby.
That's all, folks.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.